Hey everybody, today we're going to be making a smaller version of this hamburger out of polymer clay. And the size we're going to be making it is dollhouse size on this round little board that we have here. First you're going to need 2 tan small balls like this. You're also going to need a brown ball, a red one, an olive green. This one's a little bit lighter olive, and an orangish yellow ball. And then also we have a little bit of white here for the top, like the seeds that you see here at the top. Okay, first you're going to start out by rolling out the 1 tan ball that you have. You can roll it out on the palm of your finger. It usually goes a little bit faster. And then you're just going to flatten it like this. But for ours, we're going to leave it a little bit thicker to give it this fat effect that looks kind of like a Big Mac. Okay. To get the sides a little bit nicer, you can roll it like this. And then we're going to put it down on the tray. I'm going to put it to the left side of the tray because I'm going to put other things here probably in the future. This ball is a little bit too big. You can roll it out on your palm again. And then you can flatten it again. They don't have to be exact size, so it doesn't really matter what size you make them as long as they're kind of similar. And you put that aside. And then you roll out the brown ball that you have and flatten it. But this one can be a little bit fatter, like this. Some white pieces in there. It's okay. And then to give it some texture, you can take a peppercorn and you just put it on top of it like this and roll around it. See, I'm gonna push in a little bit more so it gives it more of that like hamburger meat looking effect. You can see it right here. I don't know if you guys can see it that well. And then you're going to do it on the other side. And if you can, try and get the edges, because that's what you're going to be seeing most from the hamburger view. Like that. See, perfect. And I'm going to place it on top of the bottom bun. And then after that, I'm going to do the cheese. And for the cheese, you just flatten it with your finger like this. And then you get your blade and you make a square. And you cut the edges off like so. I actually made this piece of cheese a little bit small, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to double it. Now I'm going to roll another ball out like this and flatten it. And the cool thing about using clay is that if you mess something up, you can always go back and fix it, or you can add something that makes it look even cooler. Like this. I originally only wanted one piece, but I think it's going to look really cool too. And be careful when you lift them up so that they don't lose their shape. I'm going to place this one down like this. I'm going to pull them over the edges so that it looks like the cheese is melted. Like so. And then I'm going to stretch it out a little bit at the corners. Not too much though. And I'm going to put it the other way, like this. And then you can see that the cheese looks melted from the side view. Okay, next I'm going to do the lettuce. And the way that I have the lettuce in here is a little bit different. It's wider. but I just got the idea that you can pull the pieces like this and kind of make them really thin like this, and just layer them on here so it looks like you peeled a head of lettuce out to put them on. And what's mostly important is that you get the sides of the hamburger like this. The middle doesn't really matter because you're not going to be seeing it too much. And then you just put it on top like this. And look how cool that looks from the side. It looks like layered lettuce. And now for one of my favorite parts, the tomato. You just flatten it out like you did for the cheese, but you're not going to cut it at all. You're just going to leave it round. And to give it that thick effect, you're just going to roll it like this. Roll it out with your finger. And then flatten it again so that all the edges are even. And then you get like a little tomato looking effect. And then you can place it right on top of there. And flatten it a little because you don't want your hamburger to get too high up. And then you place it down. And then you can put the top on it. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. And then you put the top right on like this. And kind of round it out when you go to the top so it looks more like a hamburger bun. All rounded out and hanging over. And then you can see that the tomato is underneath there. And lastly, what I'm going to do is put the seeds on top of the bun. For the seeds, I'm just going to roll out really tiny little pieces of white. And I'm just going to stick them on there like that. Or you can even make them smaller if you want. And then I'm going to stick this one on right about there. And when you're putting these on, make sure that you don't do them too together. You just place them all around so that it looks like a real hamburger bun, because you don't want it to look too done up. Like that, and like that. I'm just going to add about 2 more on there. Okay, and 1 more on here. There we go. And if you want to make it a charm, you can put one of these through it. But I'm just going to leave it like this because I'm using it for my dollhouse. And then also another cool idea is, if you want to take a toothpick, you can break it off like this, and you can stick it through the middle of the hamburger like this. And then I'm going to actually make an olive to put on top of it, which is going to be really cool. Now for the olive, you can use the same color green that you had before, and then just a little piece of red. What you're going to do for the olive is roll it out like this, flatten it down, then take a really small piece of red, and you're going to roll it out long ways, like this. I'm going to get a little bit bigger. Roll it out, and then you're going to stick it right in between them. Okay. And then you're going to wrap the clay around it. And then you're going to pick out a little bit of red. Use a little bit too much. I'm just going to roll it around. And it doesn't exactly have to be perfect, because not all olives are like that. And you can just stick it right on top of there. And there you go. There's your hamburger. Perfect. And I hope you guys enjoyed our first video. We have many more to come. And I hope you like it. Thanks guys. See you later.